Welcome, Scorpio. This is your weekly focus for February the 12th through to the 18th, 2024. I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thanks so much for being here. I do appreciate you. Let's go to the cards and find out what's in store for us for the week ahead. Okay, we have the Six of Pentacles as our underlying energy. So we are looking at the balance in our life. Absolutely. We are looking at our partnerships, our significant other, maybe with our relationships with our children, our parents, community, work, career, groups of people that you're involved in. There has to be this two-way street. There has to be this understanding of if you give, they give as well. If you receive, they receive as well. And we're looking at the balance of what relationships work, what relationships help me move forward, what relationships support me, who has my back. The partnerships that maybe you're making some kind of partnership in your life. This is a time when we're going to look at what do they bring to the table and what do I bring to the table, and is it divided evenly for the amount of success that we are going to step into and how it's divvied up. Is it a 50-50? Are they doing more of the work and you're kind of filling in the blanks, or vice versa? So we're looking at really, I kind of get this energy of stability here, that we want the stability in the relationships we go forward in. Well, let's get some more cards out here and see where we're going here. Judgment. Okay, something could be coming in. The work that you've done up to now, maybe you feel like you have been spinning your wheels. Maybe you've seen some small successes. Whatever it might be, we have the Judgment card here telling you that there will be a reward coming in. There will be that recognition, that awareness of what you bring to the table. Your success in some area of life. It could also be with the Judgment card calling us to start working harder for what we truly want. Start giving it the focus. Start giving it the time, the energy, the resources. Because I am laying that next to the Six of Pentacles, and that's all about bringing in the balance. And so have we been showing up consistently for our goals, our dreams, our desires, what we truly want in our life? Or are we putting our attention more towards somebody else's agenda? Somebody else's drama, or on maybe the things on the bottom of our priority list rather than on the top. We can get scrambled up in life pretty easily, and our focus can change without our true awareness. So this is almost a wake-up call in some ways to, if you haven't been focused, this is the time to focus. This is the time to bring in true balance into your world. But I get more of a reward at being in the first position. I would think you're being rewarded more for the things that you have done up to this point. We have the Empress next. Everybody's got these radically strong energy kind of readings here. Okay, so the Empress is here. This is giving birth to something. This is allowing your creativity to flow. This is allowing your inventiveness, your creativity, your self-expression. This is about you planting the seeds of your tomorrow. This is the time when you feel that you can create something magical, something wonderful. It's about putting that seed in the ground. It's about being consistent and showing up and watching it grow and mature with our help. So that's showing up every day and giving it our commitment each and every day. If it's 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes. If it's 20, it's 20. If it's 8 hours, it's 8 hours. But whatever you have available to you, that you are utilizing that time properly, that you are stepping into what you need to do in order to go forward, in order for that seed to sprout, to grow, and bring in the harvest that you rightly deserve, laying it down to the Judgment card. It could also be that you get some kind of notoriety here, some kind of stature comes in, and you're offered some new path. based on your abilities, your talents, the unique you. So if you're showcasing yourself this week, it could turn out that there's another offer rolls away from that. The Empress too is, we have to be grounded. This is the true mother, right? This is considered Mother Earth under many thoughts about the tarot. So grounding ourselves in nature is one, but it's about feeling that stability, but it's that inner stability. It's that inner confidence that you can smile through adversities because you know that you're protected. That you don't have to worry and fret. That there's more than enough abundance surrounding you, and all you have to do is show up and reach out to get it. And we have the Fool. Yeah, it's a brand new path that's being offered to you, absolutely. And it could be from you showcasing. So the Judgment card may be more in line with, because of that success that you have, because of that achievement, because of that, I hear notoriety. Something comes in that puts you on a new path. With the Empress in the middle, we really have to be grounded. I would think, you start with yourself, and then your immediate environment. So that would be your home, your family, right? It stretches out to the neighborhood, and then to the job, and then beyond that. The Fool is about a brand new path and getting excited about this path, and you have really not a lot of knowledge, not a lot of wisdom to go on. You're going to learn as you go, kind of thing. So it'd be practical experiences in order to keep moving forward on this path. But this is excitement. This is joy. And we know we have to do the work. We know we have to, keep walking here on our path if we want to actually get somewhere and do something. Okay, let's look at work and career, shall we? Look at this, the Nine of Pentacles. You know everything there is to know. You have graduated. It's time for you to advance, okay? So if you're out there and let's say you're looking for work, and you said, well, I always did this, so I'm going to look for a job where I can do that. But I'm kind of hearing that, no, you've already graduated from that. You can go to the next step because you know that job well enough that you could be a lead hand, or you could be a supervisor, or you could be a manager, or maybe human resources, or there's something more that you can do. And it's about raising that bar on yourself and believing that whatever you step into, whatever the new experience is, and I kind of get this, I see you kind of walking blindly, feeling forward for what's the next step, because there's not going to be a lot of information given to you at the time. You're going to have to figure out what tools in your toolkit you need to actually bring out, or maybe it's honing them. Maybe it's where all of a sudden we're going to be taking a class, or maybe there's 1,001 things here. Let's get a card to add to that. So we'll go to the fairy deck. A very spiritual time for you. A brand new path opening up to you. Once again, I get that brand new path, and I laid it right next to the Fool. So, and this is based on your knowledge, your wisdom, what you've experienced in life, what you bring to the table. Absolutely. I almost get, though, that there's a sense of this hidden talent, or, you find, you try something and you find that you actually, have quite the knack for that. Okay, so we have the Two of Winter. Indecision is holding you back. Make a choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others. Feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. Okay, so let's look at that card right now. But we have the Two of Winter here. Okay, so the first thing is indecision holding you back. So where are you fearful of stepping forward? Why do you not feel that you can step forward in that manner? Understand what's holding you back. Maybe it's other people in your world. saying you shouldn't do that, and I can't believe you're doing this. You've got this over here. Why are you even thinking that? But it's about you raising the bar, and only you can tap into the true passion and desire of how you are going forward. So of course they're not going to understand. A few may, if they know your heart well enough, but for the majority, okay, people's opinions of what you should be doing could trip you up. You could be trying to people please rather than living your life, living your joy. Make the choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others. Absolutely. So where do you feel that people it's the expectation maybe. Maybe there's this job that you want to do, but it pays peanuts. It pays peanuts. The schedule even is a little You make a good dollar right now, but you really want to do that. And you know, if you go home and you say, hey, I'm going to quit this job that pays me this because I want to do this. And boy, are we going to have a lot of hiccups because the schedule is all together different than what we were doing. And, of course, we don't want to ever do that because we know that we'll get pushback on that and probably huge pushback on that. But sometimes we just know in our heart, we feel it. That step actually leads to a much better opportunity in the path that you want to walk. You have to start at the bottom. You have to start at somewhere in there. And you're willing to take that chance because you have what it takes to succeed, to get those promotions, to that movement, that advancement faster than most because it's part of who you are. You're just a natural when it comes to it. So I guess it's very important then to have some kind of self-love about yourself to see your potential. But I do think that you do see your true potential this week and you're looking to how to utilize it in the best way possible. So we can't people please under this. We can't be indecisive about it. We have to sit down. We really have to concentrate on, do I really want to do this going forward? Let's get one more card, shall we? What was the other part of that? Feeling trapped between intellectual and emotional. Now, I almost take that kind of as a good thing because if we're too emotional when we're making a decision, we're not going to make the right decision. And if we're too logical when we're making decisions, sometimes it's not the right decision. It's kind of like weaving those together. So we're using that logic, but we're also that risk factor. Like we think we're capable, and you feel good about it. And you'd be really excited to do that on a full-time basis. And, so I think there's maybe where the tear in the fabric comes, but I think we should have more of a balanced cemented energy. So even though that didn't read as positive, I think, as it should have, I think it's a very positive energy to know that we'll be kind of in the middle here, not using too much logic, but not using too much emotion either. Let's get one more card here. We have the Seven of Autumn. Have patience, don't worry. Take your time to rest and plan your next steps. A prudent investment of time or money. So there's no race here. There's no race. You are evolving, okay? I see that fairy's wings as butterfly wings. So you are evolving. Eventually you will try to get out of that cocoon, right? Have patience and don't worry, okay? Put your eye on the prize and then go forward. Knowing that you are protected, knowing that there's a greater energy than you working for you, having your back. But you do have to show up and you do have to say, I'm better than I was yesterday. So why am I trying to still bring in yesterday for when it comes to my work, when it comes to my career, when it comes to my stature within the community perhaps. But, this is a time for you to evolve. This is a time for you to transform. And it's not about hurrying, okay? This is a time maybe to get your home in order. Maybe there's some stuff that you want to do around the house. This would probably be a good week to do those things. Get those things out of the way so that if you do go forward, if you do strengthen those wings and fly, that you're ready for the experience and there's not something pulling you back, that untidiness or a mess in your environment, or maybe it just doesn't have that flow and harmony that you want. Maybe it doesn't instill joy when you walk into the room or into the house or into the living space. Okay, let's go to love and relationships. We have the Queen of Wands. There's a little bit of enthusiasm here. So maybe you are putting enthusiasm into the relationship. Maybe you are creating some kind of joy, happiness. Maybe there's something to look forward to. Maybe, you're planning a trip, or you're planning a getaway, or you're looking at moving spaces. But there's some kind of enthusiasm, some kind of joy, some kind of happiness, maybe a small windfall. But when we start off with the balance of relationships, I think those relationships where you do have that balance, where you do have that support, that love infused within the relationship, I think this is where you're going to get some kind of enthusiasm coming in to what you were doing. And it's just, you kind of have this spark, this idea. It doesn't have, a lot of structure to it, but your enthusiasm alone will create it for you. So it's about stepping into it before you have it all kind of designed in your mind. Okay, to deepen relationships, grow relationships stronger. Maybe you're going on a date. This is about, and there's successes to be had here. Okay, there's success within the relationship to be brought in. If I could ever pick up the card again. Okay, we have the mountains in the background. That always symbolizes successes. Now they are behind us, so maybe it is the successes of our past relationships, and looking at even the worst of relationships. We had good times in those, and there were moments when we strived, we became whole, we became ourself. We. I hear tantalized, but I don't know how to put that in the sentence. So, I'll just leave that word hanging out there into the middle. Let's get another card to go with that. Oh my gosh, it doesn't want to come. The Princess of Spring, optimistic, enthusiastic, creative, and energetic. Okay, I thought maybe I was going somewhere wrong with that enthusiasm thing, but obviously, here's the card. It says it's time to go after your dream, to do something that expands your horizons. Let your creativity take flight. So once again, there could be some kind of little trip that we are going on, but there is this infusion of optimism. Okay, you're enthusiastic, you're excited, you're enthusiastic about the relationship in some way, of how you're going to grow it, or something that you're going to be doing together. Maybe you met somebody and they asked you for a date, and you're just like head over heels, like, this is the one, I just know it. This is about being creative as well. And I think I said something about your creativity already and allowing that to flow. So it's time to go after your dreams. So what is your definition of the relationship that you're in currently, the relationship that you want to bring in? Maybe it was a relationship that you were in, but it's lost its vitality, its energy, and so you get some kind of spark going. You bring it back to life again. You take it back maybe to the bare roots of what was really the attraction between the two of you at the very beginning. I've got Dylan hair or something here, my goodness. Okay, one more card you say? Okay, let's do it. Okay, we have the Ten of Spring. Ask for help from others, all work and no play. Being weighed down by too many responsibilities. So is this why we haven't been, we put our obligations, our responsibilities, the things that we need to take care of, everybody else and their brother, for goodness sakes, and we end up at the bottom of the priority list. And when we are at the bottom of the priority list, we have nothing left to give to that relationship that we want to grow, that we want to have enthusiasm in. A lot of what you do in the external world is in order to create more harmony within the relationship. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way, and we have to grab the reins and say, okay, it needs to work out this way. So where am I giving myself away too freely? Okay, and we're going right back to the very beginning here. okay, of the balance that we need within our relationships. Where am I giving away myself too freely, too, where am I not, holding them accountable for what they need to do for me within the relationship as well. We all have that friend that, you know, we're always there to help them. They always seem to be able to get a hold of us, but when we need them, they're like nowhere to be found. You're missing their calls, you're playing phone tag, whatever it might be. Now, ask for help from others. That could be where you decide to go and get counseling together, absolutely, to bring in the enthusiasm and the joy back into the relationship. Maybe you do need an unbiased opinion. Maybe you do need a third party to kind of play referee. All work and no play. And is that what it is lately? That you have been trying to push yourself so hard to get that promotion or get that raise or earn that extra dollar that the relationship has suffered in some way. And maybe it is time to play. Being weighed down by too many responsibilities. So look at what your obligations and responsibilities are. Maybe it's time to take a break. Maybe it's time to take a little vacation together. Absolutely. We have the Three of Pentacles. Whatever we do this week, we need to roll up our sleeves and get to work. It's one brush stroke at a time. Okay, here we are creating our future. One brush stroke at a time. And we see it in our mind. So this is also a card that tells us that our thoughts have great power into creating our tomorrow. Okay, an artist will look at, a piece of clay, and within that clay they see, a beautiful statue, and so they start carving away. Or a piece of wood, piece of ice. Have you ever seen ice sculptures? They're absolutely fantastically beautiful. But you hold the paintbrush, so it is a lot about you seeing your best life ever, and then one stroke at a time you're going to get there. We have a lot left to do, right? We have to paint a path yet towards that tomorrow, but we're seeing it in our mind, and as we see it in our mind, we're showing up and we're doing the work to move forward in that way. So it's not so much about, you know, oh yeah, last week I did it for like 5 hours straight, and then next week I'm going to do it for a couple more hours. And it's about the consistency. It's about showing up every day for 15 minutes if you must. And if that's all you have, then that's all you have. Maybe next week you'll have a half an hour. Maybe next week you'll only have 10. It's the consistency, it's the perseverance with this card. It's knowing that there's not a shortcut, and if one is offered to you, you know within your heart you need to say no to that because it's not really going to take you where you wanted to go. It was too good to be true, perhaps. So I would meditate on, and maybe journal. Maybe start doing some lists. As you go to bed at night, what are some of the things that you want to accomplish for yourself the very next day when you start? And if it's something like, oh, I'm going to do yoga or I'm going to exercise, a, a little bit of a trick is put out your exercise clothes and hang them somewhere where you're going to see them, because it takes away a little bit of the excuse of saying, well, maybe I'll have a coffee first, and I don't know, maybe I'll just hit the shower. And we have that excuse bag. We can talk ourselves out of anything. And when we're trying to build new habits, sometimes it's really easy to talk ourselves out of doing those things that we know that we must in order to succeed in the world at large. So, you know, so if you write it on your list that you're gonna start out your day by doing yoga, then have your yoga clothes and your mat already ready for you to go. So it takes away the excuse of, well, I got to get this out. And okay, just follow that. You'll be happy you did. Okay, we got the Seven of Wands. This is the declaration. This is knowing where you want to go. This is putting energy behind where you want to go, what you want to build, what you want to bring into your existence. So into you, the now. Then we'll look at home and family, grow that. How do I want my house to look? What feeling does it give me? What colors are missing? Where do I need to add more energy? Where do I need to take away some energy? Making it almost like a safe haven, a place to relax, a place where you feel safe, comfortable. This is about going forward and saying, I'm going to practice my world in different ways. I get a little bit of the routine breaking up or a habit being changed here. Maybe it's a behavior, but it all leads you towards where you want to go. You know that these are the I must do's in order to move forward in the way you want to. We're going to grab a Circle of Doors tarot card here. So yeah, I think you're looking at doing different things. I think you're looking to create a better space for yourself. Maybe grow the relationship. There's some kind of enthusiasm going on there. So I wouldn't be surprised if you were planning on just a date night. Well, it is Valentine's Day this week, right? So maybe that's the excitement and the enthusiasm. But this deck seems to tell us where I may not have talked enough about a certain subject. We have the Mega of Knives, the heroine. The heroine comes into play here. I think it's one this way. Nope. Come on. Okay, so this would be our queen. I have waited for you to turn away from the sugary fantasies. Do you now dare to step into the greatest secret? Will you turn your throat to white hot steel and cut through the final illusion? She is the master hunter who guides us out of the dark forest of ignorance, leading us to walk along forgotten paths of knowledge and drink from the forbidden springs of insight. She has always known the way home, for she has journeyed past mountains and oceans we've only dreamt of. The wisdom of this queen is a hard-won wisdom, for she has lived a life of constant seeking and questioning, always reaching for the larger, more complete vision. Her knowledge weaves a tapestry of wonder and discovery, daring us to yearn for new horizons. So ask yourself, which of your deepest truths are the most dangerous to the craven and corrupt? What can you do to liberate your people from deception and confusion? And which lines of questioning lead you to the grandest vistas of awe? Your affirmations are: I transform forgetfulness into remembrance. I seek the truth that will set us free. I am a shining beacon of wisdom. Knowledge is power. We'll also get Louise Hay Power Thought card here for you. So this is about your strength. This is growing your strength. This is growing the balance in your world. Absolutely. There's a lot of enthusiasm. There's a lot of creativity here. There's a lot of inventiveness. It's making those decisions. It's deciding to go forward. And I think you're raising the bar on yourself. I think if you've always been this, that you need to elevate your path now. You need to strive for something more than what you've always done in the past. And you'll be successful under this energy. But it will be a learning curve. It will be the unknown. You may feel like uncomfortable in your own skin for a little bit, but that's a good thing because it keeps us on our toes and it keeps us moving and striving forward towards knowledge and wisdom. We have, I express my creativity. My unique creative talents and abilities flow through me and are expressed in deeply satisfying ways. My creativity is always in demand. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.